What makes an archaeological discovery amazing? Well, it needs to be captivating. It needs to reveal new insights about the lives of our ancestors, and it needs to stand out among the many archaeological finds made around the world each day. We keep all of that in our mind when we make videos for you, and we can say with confidence, this is yet another one filled with amazing archaeological discoveries. So, without wasting your precious time anymore, let's get started. Number 15. Queen Ti statue. We've known what Pharaoh Tutankhamun looked like since Howard Carter entered his tomb in 1922. But in 2017, archaeologists finally found a statue believed to depict his grandmother, Queen Ti. A joint Egyptian-European team was working on relocating a larger statue of Amenhotep III at his mortuary temple in Kamel Hatan when they stumbled upon the smaller alabaster statue hidden behind it. Its positioning convinced experts that it represented Queen Ti, who was Amenhotep's wife and Tutankhamun's grandmother. While additional statues of her have since been discovered at the same temple site, this one is unique. It's the only one made from alabaster rather than quartzite. The sculpture's face is heavily damaged, which unfortunately is common with ancient Egyptian figures, especially those deliberately defaced in later dynasties. Still, the craftsmanship that remains is enough to convey the significance she held in royal lineage. As both a queen and a political force in her own right, Queen Ti's legacy continues to surface piece by piece, hidden in sand and stone, waiting to be reassembled. Number 14. Tiska Kirkin weather vane. Once perched atop the German church in Stockholm's Old Town, the Tiska Kirkin weather vane has become an artifact of urban survival. Erected in 1672 to serve the city's German population, the church was part of a growing German district that included a school and trade guilds. In 1878, disaster struck when the building was nearly consumed by fire. Though the entire church had to be rebuilt, the enormous brass weather vane somehow survived. There was no structural reason it couldn't be placed atop the new church tower, but city planners chose to retire it. Today, it stands preserved inside the entrance hall, protected by a glass enclosure. This piece isn't just architectural decoration, it's a surviving emblem of Stockholm's 17th century expansion and its long-standing ties with Germany. Its preservation marks a rare example of a practical object being given a second life as a historical relic. Although its function as a weather vane has ended, its value as a symbol of endurance is stronger than ever. Number 13. The Architect Protractor. Of all the strange items unearthed in ancient Egyptian tombs, this one might top the list. I mean, for real. Just look at it. It was discovered in 1906 inside the tomb of Ka, an architect who lived during the 18th dynasty and designed royal tombs over 3,400 years ago. At first glance, it's just a bar attached to a circular base, but it baffled experts for over a century. Now they believe it might be the oldest protractor in the world. The clue lies in the carvings across its surface. What looked like decorations now appear to represent a compass rose, 16 petals evenly spaced along a circular zigzag. If you place the straight edge of the artifact on a slope and attach a plumb line to the circle, you could measure angles. This interpretation suggests that Ka, and possibly others of his time, had mastered trigonometric concepts. Whether it truly is a protractor or not, it's one more reminder of just how advanced Egyptian mathematics really was. Number 12. Highland time capsule. Burying a time capsule for future generations isn't a modern concept. In 2015, construction workers in the Scottish Highlands unearthed a 126-year-old capsule buried in the small village of Kingassy. It was concealed beneath a bridge being demolished for replacement and dates back to September 1894. The capsule itself is no bigger than a shoebox and was clearly buried deliberately. Inside, workers found a sealed bottle of whiskey, a local newspaper from the time, and a scroll made of parchment. The bottle remains unopened, and though it's technically safe to drink, no one has dared try. Before the bridge being removed was built, an even older bridge stood on the same site, designed for horse traffic instead of cars, placing the capsule's origin firmly in that era. The newspaper helped confirm the date. This small but powerful find offers a rare glimpse into everyday life in rural Scotland at the end of the 19th century, preserved by accident and revealed only because of a scheduled upgrade over a century later. Number 11. The Mystery of Gungji Wamp. Gungji Wamp in Groton, Connecticut, is an archaeological riddle wrapped in centuries of chaos. The site is a jumbled layering of human activity from multiple eras, with older artifacts often found above newer ones, as if time were scrambled. If archaeologists didn't know better, they might suspect it was all set up to mess with them. Colonial-era relics have been discovered inside chambers that may date back to the Neolithic period. There are mysterious stone rings embedded in the ground and strange, unreadable carvings etched into nearby rocks. It's clear people lived here on and off for centuries, but who arrived first? One far-fetched theory suggests Celtic Christian monks fleeing Norse invaders may have founded Gungji Wamp in the 6th century, but that theory collapses under its own weight. Gungji Wamp already existed long before then. The oldest tools found on-site date back 3,500 years, likely left by the region's earliest native inhabitants. Who they were and what exactly they built here still remains a total enigma. Number C. Vale de Pedra Ferrada Stone Tool. Since 2011, excavations at Vale de Pedra Ferrada in Brazil have unearthed a variety of ancient items, but none as controversial as the stone tool found in May 2021. Unlike earlier finds, this disc-shaped tool has serrated edges and is unmistakably man-made, estimated to be around 24,000 years old. Before this, most scholars agreed that humans arrived in South America about 15,000 years ago. This discovery pushes that timeline back by at least 9,000 years and forces archaeologists to reconsider everything we thought we knew about early migration. The tool likely served practical purposes such as cutting hide or slicing through plant fibers. Since then, another 2,000 stone fragments have been recovered from the same area, though not all are confirmed tools. Some researchers still resist the idea, arguing it might be a naturally formed object, but with each new find, that argument grows weaker. If these artifacts hold up to further scrutiny, they may rewrite the earliest chapter of South American human history entirely. Number 9. The boat coffins of Shiahi. Mummification usually requires careful technique, but sometimes nature does the job better. The Shiahi Cemetery in China's Tarim Basin holds some of the world's most baffling natural mummies. Over 4,000 years ago, an unknown culture began burying its dead in this desolate desert. For nearly 2 millennia, they continued, eventually leaving behind over 200 bodies, all remarkably well preserved. Skin, hair, clothing, even facial features have survived the sands of time. But there's a bizarre twist. Many were buried in boat-shaped coffins, despite being surrounded by nothing but dry land. Archaeologists are still unsure why. It gets stranger. DNA analysis in 2021 revealed that these people weren't related to the region's modern inhabitants. Instead, they descended from ancient North Eurasians, a population that vanished long ago. Despite their isolation, they were clearly sophisticated, with fine textiles and symbolic burials. But their unwillingness to intermix may have sealed their fate. What do you think about them? Number 8. Beads from Toralt Cave. The urge to decorate ourselves goes way back than most people think. In 2021, archaeologists working in Toralt, Morocco, found shell beads estimated to be 82,000 years old. Known as the Cave of Pigeons, the site has long been rich in ancient artifacts, but this discovery is particularly significant. Each bead is a perforated seashell, likely worn as a necklace or sewn into clothing. Until now, the oldest known jewelry dates back about 40,000 years and was found in Europe. These beads double that record and challenge assumptions about where and when symbolic thought emerged. Jewelry isn't just decoration, it's a sign of self-awareness, communication, and social identity. Alongside the beads, archaeologists also found tools and animal remains, suggesting the site may have had ritualistic or community-based significance. Even the idea that someone wore these items because they found them beautiful is a powerful insight. At a time when survival was the priority, the presence of jewelry proves that even humans had space for expression. Number 7. The lost Roman Temple of Dolish. Dolish in southeastern Turkey has been thoroughly excavated for years, so archaeologists were stunned in 2021 when they stumbled upon a Roman sanctuary no one knew existed. Ground-penetrating radar didn't detect a thing, but the researchers trusted their instincts and dug anyway. What they found were the remnants of a grand temple complex, likely built after the Romans annexed the Hellenistic city in 72 CE. The temple doesn't follow the architectural style common to the Eastern Mediterranean. Instead, it resembles sanctuaries found further south in Syria and Palmyra. The site shows signs of looting and intentional destruction, making it hard to determine which deity it honored. But the discovery highlights a harsh truth: modern tech isn't infallible, and some ruins still hide just beneath our feet. Dolich's temple may not have been built for a Roman god at all. It could reflect a blending of cultures that Rome often encouraged in its provinces. Whatever its original origin, its survival defied both time and scanners. Number 6. The Hermitage of Gastel, Lugachi. Most of Spain's tiny coastal islands are barren and forgettable, but Gastel Lugachi is the exception. It's connected to the mainland by a dramatic medieval bridge and a twisting staircase carved from stone. The whole scene looks pulled from a fantasy novel, but its purpose was entirely spiritual. For reasons lost to time, someone in the 11th century chose this rugged, uninhabited island as the site for a religious hermitage, and not only that, they decided it needed a permanent stone connection to land. Building it would have been an enormous challenge for the era, but the fact that it still stands today proves the builders knew what they were doing. Legend says the Knights Templar constructed the sanctuary, though no records confirm it. What we do know is that over the centuries, it's been attacked, damaged, and rebuilt repeatedly. And every time it fell, someone returned to restore it. That enduring presence on a wind-battered rock in the sea gives it a kind of sacred defiance that's hard to ignore. Number 5. Stolen Sumerian relief in Bulgaria. In 2015, a smuggled shipment intercepted in Bulgaria turned out to be far more significant than authorities anticipated. Hidden within it was a 5,000-year-old Sumerian stone relief, likely stolen from Mesopotamia and destined for the black market. Experts believe it may once have formed part of a ceremonial altar or sarcophagus. While similar items exist in prestigious museums like the Louvre, none are as well preserved as this. The carved scenes on the stone depict people and animals feasting side by side, though the meaning behind the imagery remains unknown. That level of preservation, combined with the intricate detailing, makes it one of the most remarkable examples of Sumerian stonework ever recovered outside of an official excavation. Authorities traced the shipment to a Turkish dealer who was promptly arrested. Though the route it traveled remains unclear, its survival is a rare stroke of luck. Alright, now let's move to Number 4. The Sword of Essen. One thing historians agree on about the Sword of Essen is its age. It's ancient and finely crafted. Beyond that, the story becomes uncertain. Some call it the Sword of Saints Cosmas and Damian and believe it served a ceremonial rather than combative purpose. The blade dates back to the 10th century, but its gold decorations weren't added until nearly 100 years later. Silver fittings came in the 15th century. Today it's kept at the Essen Cathedral treasury in Germany. Legend says Roman Emperor Otto III gifted the sword to the Essen Abbey in 993 to honor the martyrdom of the city's patron saints. Not everyone believes that version, which is why the name isn't universally accepted. A detailed study in the 1990s revealed that the sword was already old and likely used in combat before being adorned. The ornamental design closely resembles that of a chandelier in Essen Cathedral, which may hint that the sword was made locally. Number 3. The Assyrian Prenuptual Tablet. Well now, this is just awesome. Prenuptial agreements might seem like a modern concept, but they go back much further than most people realize. Case in point, this Assyrian marriage contract carved into clay nearly 4,000 years ago. It documents the union of a man named Lakipum and his wife Hatala and includes surprisingly detailed clauses. One of them states that if Hatala cannot conceive within 2 years, she must provide her husband with a surrogate. The surrogate, disturbingly, would be a female slave. Once she gave birth, she'd be sold. There's even a clear divorce clause stating that either partner can file for separation but must compensate the other with 5 minas of silver. A mina was a unit of weight, not currency, so this was no small fee. The contract was unearthed in Kultepe, Turkey, a site known for its wealth of cuneiform archives. It's another reminder that ancient societies understood the complexities of love, duty, and legal protection long before the concept of family law even existed. Number 2. Ancient Egyptian Homework Tablet. Around 1,800 years ago, school children in Egypt were already being assigned homework, and they probably hated it just as much as modern students. Proof of this came in the form of a wax tablet acquired by the British Library in 1892. The tablet, similar in size to a modern iPad, contains Greek writing etched into its surface. The first part shows 2 pieces of advice, each likely written by a teacher: accept counsel only from wise men and not all friends can be trusted. Below those lines, the same phrases appear again, this time shakily rewritten by a child's hand, likely part of a copying exercise. Further down the tablet is a multiplication table, followed by short reading exercises. The entire layout mirrors a typical school assignment. It's a rare and remarkably preserved window into the daily life of ancient Egyptian students. Despite the centuries that separate us, their education practices look familiar. We're not the smartest. Number 1. Roman fresco in London. When people hear about Roman frescoes, they typically think of Italy, but Roman influence stretched much further, including deep into Britain. One striking example came to light in London during excavation work at 21 Lime Street, where a brilliantly preserved fresco dating to the 1st century AD was uncovered. Art historians were surprised. It's one of the earliest examples ever found in Britain, and the design is unlike anything previously seen in the region. It more closely resembles decorative styles found in Roman villas in what is now Germany. Its survival is due to sheer luck. The building it once decorated was demolished in the 2nd century to make way for the Second Forum Basilica. When the wall collapsed, the fresco fell face down, shielding its vivid colors and design from damage. Scholars believe it originally adorned a reception room in an upscale Roman home, meant to impress guests on arrival. After nearly 2,000 years buried beneath the city, it will now be preserved and displayed in a museum for all to see. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon.